Hey everyone, Cynthia Ray here, and I am back and excited to share with you day 2 of our 5-day over 40 weight loss bootcamp challenge. So yesterday I really dove in deep about how to change your behavior, how to become more consistent, and a lot more beyond that. But if you haven't watched it, go ahead and go back to it. Day 1 yesterday. It's posted in my Facebook community or on my YouTube channel, or if you registered for this challenge, then you will also receive it in your email inbox. So go back to that if you haven't. But today I want to talk about the second habit that women over 40 who are fit, fabulous, and fierce are pursuing and what they're doing differently than women who don't know what to do or aren't really invested in their health. So the second habit for this week is living out a fasting lifestyle and how to do it for women over 40 specifically. So I know we hear about intermittent fasting a lot. It's gotten a lot of popularity. And honestly, at first, as a dietitian, I was not really into it. I was thinking, I've been teaching women with eating disorders for so many years how not to starve themselves, how not to not eat, but to embrace a healthy lifestyle of eating regularly, eating mindfully, eating intuitively. And I was challenged by it. So when I was praying about wanting to figure out how to help women over 40, God gave me the words fasting. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is crazy. I can't do this. But of course, I looked into it. He did his prompting, and a whole another level of science and information and healing came out of it. So I know God's in it, and I just want to teach you how to do it healthfully, how to do it correctly, and get the best results from it, and just to feel your best and reverse the aging process as you go along. So, all right. So today, let's go ahead and I'm going to share with you some of the homework, or not homework, the housekeeping for this week or for today. So yesterday, like I said, I shared on consistency. And then today in the comments, let's go ahead and just get to know each other a little bit better today. So today in the comments, let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you'd rather have a personal chef or if you'd rather have a personal stylist. Comment below, whether you're watching it on YouTube or Facebook or the recording. Go ahead and comment below and let me know where you're tuning in from and if you would rather have a personal chef and a personal stylist. And if you want to add in their why, that would be awesome too. So that'd be a lot of fun. Okay, so yesterday was our first day, and we did have our homework assignment to begin fasting. And for those of you guys, ladies who commented, there are several of you, and we did a little raffle this morning. And our winner from day 1 is Mary Lou Maglia. So congratulations, Mary Lou. She is our resident face yoga instructor. So if you haven't looked into face yoga yet, it's an amazing thing. Mary Lou, if you're watching this, go ahead and put your link to your website on there so women can learn about this. I do also podcast style interviews with women for our Ageless Body Blueprint course group. And she was one of the ladies I interviewed and gave us really awesome information about how to reverse aging just using face yoga instead of Botox or other, med spa things. So anyway, congratulations, Mary Lou. I will be emailing you or texting you a little gift card for a Starbucks drink on me for you to enjoy this week. But make sure to eat it or drink it during your eating window, so that way you're not breaking your fast if you're fasting this week, unless it's just regular black coffee or plain tea. So anyway, enjoy that. Okay, so let's do a little housekeeping as we get started. So same thing, we're meeting here Monday through Friday. Today's day 2, Tuesday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. The live streams are going to be appearing in my my community Facebook group, Over 40 and Fabulous, and then also on my YouTube channel, Cynthia A. Ray, I believe. So replays will be available to those who have registered for this course already. If you haven't, you can find the link in the previous posts and go ahead and register there so you can get all of the content. Also, I'm going to continue giving prizes daily for those who completed the homework assignment, and then raffling off a prize for those who completed it. If you registered, you also have or will receive your meal plan and fitness plan for the week. So I have a really cool 7-day beginner fasting meal plan that you can use. It's comprehensive, has grocery lists, it has awesome recipes, and it has, what else is in there? Just easy ways to make good food. So, and then also the next thing we have is the fitness plan. The fitness plan is a 7-day plan. Actually, it's 28. You can use it for the 7 days, but it's actually a comprehensive 28-day fitness plan that you can use for an entire month. There's a beginner, intermediate, and advanced level fitness plan. So you can choose which one of those works best for you. All right, so before we get started and get into the details, go ahead and make sure to minimize your distractions and turn off your cell phone ringers, closing extra tabs that you have open on your computer. This time is for you, so let's make the most of this time together. Grab a pen and paper if you need it. If you need to take a little break, run to the restroom, go for it, and then come back here and join us. So these next few days, I will share with you my top secrets and habits of fit, fabulous, and fierce women over 40. I'll show you how to implement these things with daily homework, and then you can use this for the rest of your life if you'd like. I want to give you as much info as possible, so if you need to record or rewind, if you need to fast forward, if you're watching the recording, you can do that. You can grab a pen and paper, like I said, and take some notes. Especially here for today, I'm going to be sharing a lot of information quickly because there's a lot of cool info about fasting and for women over 40. So yeah, you can take notes if you'd like. And then while I'm speaking at this time, if you have any questions for me, go ahead and put them in the chat box as well, and I'll take a look at them at the end and then respond accordingly. Okay, so let's dive in to habit number 2. Begin to learn to apply fasting to your daily lifestyle for us women over 40. This works also for women under 40 and men as well, but today I'm going to specifically give you some tips on how to balance fasting with hormonal changes. Okay, so fasting basically means refraining from eating for a period of time. There's nothing special about it. That's pretty much it. During a fasting time, you can have water, of course, plain water. You can have black coffee. You can have plain tea, just water with the tea. You can have matcha tea with water. You can have sparkling beverages like sparkling water, mineral water without any added flavor. What else can you have? You can have unsweetened iced tea. So during your fasting window, you can enjoy lots of beverages that will not break your fast. However, the cleaner the fast, if you're just doing pure water, you're going to get the most benefit from it overall. So just keep that in mind. The cool thing about fasting is that reason why I'm teaching you this is for a few different reasons, but we are focusing on weight loss over 40. So it has been in the more recent years, probably the last 5-6 years or so, that researchers are realizing that body fat loss isn't about calories. It's about the food we eat and about how long we are spacing our meals in between each other. So we have 2 metabolic systems as humans. We have a carbohydrate burning system and we have a fat burning system. Okay, so if you are stuck in a situation and there's no food available, this is for survival, right? Our bodies are wired for survival. And you've used up all of the stored energy. We store carbohydrates in our liver. We also store carbohydrates in our muscles called glycogen. Our muscle glycogen is used for movement and exercise. Our liver glycogen is used for prolonged periods of time where we haven't eaten as extra stores for backup. So if you feel like your blood sugar is going low or have not had food available for a period of time, then sometimes, have you experienced this before where you've gotten really busy with something, had a really stressful day and you were running all over the place or really busy and you were hungry and then you're like, okay, I got to get something to eat, but you never do because you're too busy. And then by the time you're done, you're like, oh my goodness, I'm not even hungry anymore. So that's actually what's happening with fasting is you're depleting your stores. And now once your carbohydrate stores are depleted, now you're tapping into your body fat for fuel. And a lot of times, none of us really get to that point. We've been taught over the years how to eat 3 to 5 meals a day or 3 to 6 meals a day, 3 meals and 2 snacks. I was teaching that for a long time as a dietitian in private practice. Looking at the research, I realized that the best way to tap into body fat is to use that metabolic system. So fasting allows your body to do that. If you are eating a ketogenic style diet while you are fasting, it's even better because you're going to keep your blood sugar and carbohydrate stores low, because if you're not eating a lot of carbohydrates, you're not storing carbohydrates, right? So you're actually essentially training your body to utilize body fat as its primary fuel source and metabolic system. Okay. So over time, your body will adapt to that and realize, oh, there's not much carbs coming in. Our bodies are adaptive. They're wired for survival. So now I'm going to convert and become more of a fat burner or metabolically flexible. So which is a really cool thing. So this is how fasting opens your metabolism. You're switching gears, your body's adapting, and you're becoming more of a fat burner versus a sugar burner, using that fat for fuel primarily. So your body will go to that first once it's conditioned, which is really cool, right? It's also amazing too, because if you're keeping your blood sugar low, you're also balancing your hormones. You're also keeping your insulin levels low, which is another hormone, and keeping you healthy. You're giving your poor pancreas a break from eating, and giving your digestive system a break if you struggle with bloating, if you struggle with fatigue, if you struggle with brain fog. A lot of those things will be lifted when you're fasting. I know for me, for years, I struggled with stuttering. And when I started fasting, I didn't really notice it till later on, but how much brain clarity I had, how much more easily I was able to convey my thoughts, how much more easily I was able to communicate and not be searching for the right word. I know sometimes, a lot of times as we get older, when we're sharing something or sharing a piece of information, have to get to the detail specific word for something, we might forget it and have a really hard time recalling specifics. And that's usually because of a gut health issue, right? And brain fog. So if you're fasting, you're giving your intestines and you're giving your pancreas an opportunity to take a break, to clear the extra bacteria that has gone bad from your system, to clear the excess carbohydrates that might be fogging your brain, and just to give it a break, right? So there's so many benefits to fasting. So let me go ahead and share with you the benefits. Actually, maybe I'll do this later. I was going to share with you, there's a timeline of benefits. So it goes from hour 0 to hour 72 of fasting, and how, as you go along, how you start to open up your metabolism and get more and more health benefits from it. But I'll share that with you in just a little bit. All right. Again, it helps to reverse type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes. So a lot of women who are entering their menopausal years or perimenopausal or even postmenopausal really struggle with pre-diabetes or insulin resistance. So if you're fasting, it'll really help you to either reverse it or to prevent it from happening as your hormones shift. All right, let's talk about fasting history a little bit. So Eat Less, Live Longer. This is the title of an article I was reading. The Science of Fasting and Longevity. Like, how is that possible, right? So fasting really is far from a fad. It's been a part of life since ancient civilizations and many religions, including Christianity. We still retain fasting for different forms or different rites, maybe a rite of passage, or we are wanting to hear more clearly from God, or get a deeper connection, or have a breakthrough, or something. But the idea is to gain clarity, right? And to sacrifice something that seems to be a basic need, but we're designed to do. So in scientific circles, even Hippocrates, known as the father of medicine, said we use fasting to spur healing. So they've been doing this for generations. So a lot of times too, if people are struggling with certain types of cancer, especially bone marrow cancers, like different kinds of leukemia, if they're struggling with that, sometimes physicians will just from the gate prescribe fasting for 3 days, because when you're doing that, and I'll explain this more detail later, when you're doing that, probably about hour 72 or between 48 and 72, your body's actually going to those old cells, the ones that have gone awry, breaking them down, excreting them from your system, and then at the same time building up a whole new set of those stem cells and those white blood cells to form healing. So it's super powerful. All right. So people aren't quite sure how to start fasting. So that's why I really want to share with you today. Not that it's just a fad, but it's something that we can do for the long haul. Again, fasting gets rid of weak cells. It helps them to die off. It produces stronger cells, and it helps you to thrive more in the process. It's actually how anti-aging is happening, or aging in reverse is happening with fasting, because we're allowing our bodies to heal and reverse any potential disease that might be coming up, or any imbalances, things like that. And then most people don't do it because they're afraid of it. They're thinking, oh man, I'm supposed to eat, frequently throughout the day. And how am I get enough nutrition in? But they're very different things. Your eating window should definitely be comprised of a lot of healthy whole foods, which I have a meal plan for you to use. And then your fasting window should be used for healing, reversing aging, and just boosting up your immune system. Okay, so just keep that in mind. During menopause, hormonal changes can make weight loss more challenging, and we know that, right, for many women. Um, and I've been researching and kind of finally started to figure out that the reason why that is because obviously our metabolism is shifting to go a little bit lower. But at the same time, while you're fasting, it helps to regulate insulin levels, which definitely tend to fluctuate during that time. Like I said, you're at higher risk for type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance. But fasting will help you to regulate that a little bit better. And it helps you to potentially overcome any weight loss plateaus that are common during menopause. It supports hormone balance, aiding in weight management, promotes the utilization of fat stores for energy. Of course, I said that earlier, particularly helpful for women experiencing changes in metabolism during menopause. So it's definitely going to help you in elevating your metabolism, especially if you're exercising during a fasting period. You're going to get a spike in your elevation in metabolism and healing. So we'll talk more about exercise later this week. It contributes to overall well-being by promoting metabolic health and hormonal balance. And then here's some of the fasting benefits as we age. So fasting is really cool because it activates this process called autophagy. And autophagy is kind of a more recent discovery within the last, 15 years or so, discovered by a Japanese physician in Japan, right? And during his research, he's actually a biologist and happened to accidentally discover autophagy when one day he wasn't feeding the cells that he had in a petri dish, and he wanted to see what would happen over time if he didn't feed them. And he noticed they started to clean house, that they started cleaning up any damaged cells that were within them and excreting them, but at the same time building up new cells for health and longevity, and even preserving, for us as we're getting older, muscle mass, for increasing metabolism, for increasing the human growth hormone that a lot of us lose as we age. So keep that in mind, but also keep in mind that fasting isn't ideal for every single person. So for example, if you have any underlying health conditions, type 1 diabetics, it's doable, but it takes special care and planning. If you have struggled with an eating disorder, whether it's anorexia, bulimia, or even binge eating, but I found though in my practice though that binge eating fasting has really been helpful for binge eaters if you're working with them one-on-one, just to help them reestablish their relationship with food, balance their blood sugar, and help them to lose some weight, and show them how their emotions are attached and as a trigger for their eating. So there's a lot of factors, but I also work one-on-one. So if you would like some support nutritionally, I can help you in my private practice via Zoom or in person, depending where we're at. And I can help you navigate those things. It's also not appropriate for women to fast if they're breastfeeding or if they're pregnant, or like I said, any specific medical conditions that require taking specific medications at certain times. However, you can actually adjust your eating window and your fasting window according to when you're taking your medication. It doesn't have to be an overnight fast. You can start fasting, have breakfast and then a snack and then fast from lunch until the next morning. Or that evening. You can really structure it according to however you want. But I just like using that evening time as a kind of like a free pass for when you're sleeping and we're not eating. It makes it easier. Okay, so let's talk about the benefits of fasting. Okay, so I was gonna share my screen with you, but I'll just post this with the video so you can get an idea. All right, here we go. Fasting benefits timeline. So immediate effects: between 0 and 12 hours of fasting, your insulin levels begin to drop, allowing your body to access stored fat for energy. It's also a time where you are experiencing cellular repair process like autophagy are beginning to be initiated. I usually say closer to about 17 hours is a little bit more accurate. There's different research, different places, but I found that 17 hours is really key for autophagy. Between after 12 to 18 hours, ketosis begins. So ketosis is where your body transfers from using carbohydrates or stored energy for fuel, or the food that you just ate for fuel, and moves you into breaking down body fat for fuel. And that breakdown of body fat breaks down into a small component called ketones and produces what they call ketosis. So that's when you're in that metabolic state of ketosis. You're breaking down body fat for fuel, and these ketones are circulating your body. By the way, ketones are absolutely amazing for your brain health. Your brain loves working with ketones. So much brain clarity happens. I know for me, when I'm fasting and I go into ketosis, I can pretty much tell right away. I kind of look for that brain clarity, and my thoughts are clear. I'm able to communicate well and easily. I'm not stuck on certain words or specific things. And it's absolutely amazing. And it's just really healing for your brain as well. And I've heard it can also help with preventing certain diseases that are related to aging and brain health as you age. So that's something super beneficial. After 18 to 24 hours, you go into a little bit of a deeper autophagy. You're repairing your cells, and that continues promoting longevity and overall health. About 24 to 48 hours, you are experiencing enhanced fat burning, and the body continues to rely on fat for energy. You have improved insulin sensitivity, potentially reducing the risk of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. And then after 48 hours, or up to 72, you go into more of a deeper metabolic reset with potential benefits for weight loss and overall metabolic health. And then same thing, autophagy continues, supporting your cellular rejuvenation and immune system. And the long-term benefits, like I said, what we're doing here for weight loss is the slow road. This is the slow burning, slow kindling fire that you're going to be experiencing metabolically. And you're going to notice over time, continuing on with your fasting lifestyle, that you will start to lose body fat. But there's a million, not really a million, a lot of other benefits you're going to experience from living out this lifestyle, with balancing your blood sugar, balancing hormones, brain clarity, gut health, reducing in bloating, reducing your menopause belly, reducing joint pain, sleeping better, better energy with exercise, feeling more confident. There's a ton of things, reversing potential disease, reversing disease that has begun, that's age related. So there's a ton of things, but yeah, so long-term results, you're going to have sustainable weight loss and improved body composition, enhanced metabolic flexibility, meaning you can easily go back and forth from being fat, from a carb burner to a fat burner. So once you reach that place of metabolic flexibility where your body has adapted, usually takes, I don't know, maybe 2 to 3 months to really get there of consistent fasting daily. And once you get to that point, let's say, for example, you go on vacation and your lifestyle changes and you decide to just kind of enjoy whatever, or the holidays, enjoy whatever food, kind of fall off of what you're doing. When you become metabolically flexible and this season of your life is over and you're like, okay, I'm going to jump back into my fasting and healthy eating lifestyle, you come back into it very quickly, right? So just like when you have, you've been working out and you have muscle memory, same thing. If you haven't been working out for a while and you come back to it, you're like, okay, the first few workouts are a little hard, but then after that, you get right back into it. It's a similar thing with that muscle memory. It's super helpful. All right. So one of the ladies in my group, Carrie, she's actually did really amazing. She has been doing it for a while. She kind of fell off for a little bit, but then jumped back on. She went through a phase where she was doing all the work and wasn't, at first she saw a lot of change and all of a sudden she didn't see a lot of change. But what she decided to do was to go back to, she had been tracking her weight for several months. And I think she did it on MyFitnessPal. And on MyFitnessPal, when you track your weight, it has a little, like a graph you can see for what's happening over time. And one day she texted me and she said, oh my gosh, I thought I was struggling. But now I'm starting to see breakthrough again. And I went to look at my weight chart and she noticed that, her weight started up here on the graph. And then it went down a little bit, then it, went up and down, then it went down a little bit more, went up and down, went down more, and then stayed right there. And she didn't realize how much weight she had lost over time because she got stuck in the places where she was hitting a plateau. So my encouragement to you all is to keep going, to do hard things, to know that failure or feeling like a failure is an option, and just keep going. If you feel stuck, your breakthrough is most likely right around the corner. So just keep going. This is, again, the long haul. We're not expecting quick results in a short period of time. This is just a lifestyle. So I want to encourage you in that. Okay, so during your eating window, what I want you to do is to focus in on a higher fat diet. This is great for hormone health. Higher fat diet, a higher protein diet on the lower carb end, and then including a day during the week where you can treat yourself or a day off. Okay, so this is the funny thing. So a lot of times we talk about fasting and we don't realize what is actually happening with our hunger. Or I shouldn't say that. I want to talk about the elephant in the room, hunger. So when we're feeling hungry, it can be hard. And a lot of times people are afraid of fasting because of hunger, of experiencing hunger. And it's okay. The truth is that there's this hormone called ghrelin that triggers hunger in our brain to make us feel hungry. And it's usually, most often, it is conditioned to when you normally eat, and also your blood sugar. So you're going to experience the ghrelin coming in. You're going to feel some hunger. You're going to feel some empty and growling. And within 20 minutes, it's going to go away. It kind of comes in ebbs and flows. So just know that when you're feeling hungry, maybe grab some extra water, keep yourself busy, do a workout, which will take it away. Enjoy some unsweetened iced tea, some plain hot tea. Grabbing a black cup of coffee is great, especially before you work out when you're fasting. Even tea is great for energy. And then drink plenty of water, and just know that that time is going to come and go. And a lot of times the black coffee will just do the trick and help to alleviate that hunger. Okay, let's move in. Let's see how we are doing on time. Here we go. Okay, good. We're doing good. All right, a few more minutes. Okay, so fasting for age. Okay, so I have a new book coming out. It's over Weight Loss Over 40. That's the working title right now. But in my book, I do go into the details about how to fast according to your cycle, your menstrual cycle. If you're perimenopausal, I also have some information there how to fast according to your pseudo cycle, or your cycle if you are menopausal or postmenopausal. Although you may not have an actual period or actually bleed once a month anymore, doesn't mean your hormones are dead, right? You still have hormones there. And our job, my job, and your job is to help yourself to bring those hormone levels back up, even if you don't have a period per se. A lot of times women who are under 50 and went into early menopause, it's usually because of excess stress, extra busy. There's a book called The Busy Woman Syndrome, where women are experiencing low progesterone levels because of being super stressed, and they go into menopause early. And sometimes these women will bring in foods that will help to elevate progesterone and estrogen levels again. And we'll notice that they actually start spotting again, even though they haven't had a period for years. But that just means that you're bringing your hormone levels up with fasting and with eating foods that balance those hormones up or promote their elevation. Okay, so here's the schedule. And I'll post this as well. This is from my book. So if you are in perimenopause and you still have a period, it's really important to keep in line with this schedule. All right, so day 1 through 10 of your cycle. Day 1, remember, is the first day that you bleed. Okay, so day 1 to 10, at this time, estrogen and energy is high. And at this time, you can engage in all types and lengths of fasting, including extended length fasts, incorporating keto foods and including plenty of fats and protein. Days 11 to 15. This is your ovulation window, and it should involve no extensive fasting. Only up to 15 hours is recommended, and then adding in estrogen promoting foods or estrogen foods with your fats and proteins. Okay. Day 16 to 19, fasting can resume and continue with all types of fasting. And you can go to a ketogenic style diet. That's day 16 to 19. You can continue with all types of fasting. Days 20 until you bleed again, which is day 1. Day 20 to 28 or so, depending on how long your cycle is. Progesterone levels rise. You'll need to take a break from fasting, going no longer than 13 hours to keep your stress low so progesterone can do its thing. Your liver can metabolize it without having to be burdened with extra stress. And actually, having a little extra supplemental magnesium is helpful too to reduce cravings, especially for chocolate and unhealthy carbohydrates. At this time, your energy levels tend to be kind of low, and you want to nurture your body at this time so you can keep your stress low. So, progesterone needs to be nurtured. This is your nurture phase, going no longer than 13 hours, keeping your workouts easy, maybe doing some yoga, stretching, going for walks, things like that. Okay, now, if you no longer have a period, if you're in menopause or postmenopausal, between 50 plus years old, you can include fasting daily, about 15 to 18 hours, 5 days a week. And then 1 day a week, you can do a longer fast if you want to do a 20, 24, 36, 72, whatever 48-hour long fast you want to do. As you say, do that once a week. And then also including 1 day off. So 5 days a week of intermittent fasting, 15 to 18 hours, 1 day a week of an extended fast. And then on the weekend, usually on Sunday, I say take the day off. So Monday through Saturday, intermittent fasting, 1 day of a longer fast, and then 1 day off of just healthy feasting. That's pretty much the same for women in menopause and postmenopausal. In my book, I go into more detail. Okay, again, if you don't have actual bleeding, doesn't mean that your hormone levels aren't there, right? You do have hormones, they're just low. You can also fast for these ladies according to the lunar cycle, which is really cool. According to the lunar cycle, it'll help to get your hormones back into balance. So you would start that your day one would be the new moon of day one. Your day one would be the new moon. So you can take a look at Google, take a look at the phase of the moon on your calendar and see when your day one will be. So you would fast in the same way. So days 1 through 5, according to the moon, you'll fast for 15 hours. Days 6 through 10, fast for 17 or more hours. Days 11 to 15, fast for 15 hours. Days 16 to 19, you can fast 17 or more hours. And then back down here, days 20 to 30, fast for 16 hours max. So all of this is going to be in my book, see chapter 7, actually. You can take a look at that. When it comes out, you can grab a copy, or I can see if I can paste some of this into our post as well. All right. And then food, there's a variety of foods that support estrogen, a variety of foods that support progesterone levels. Estrogen loves soybeans, avocados, olive oil, and sesame seed oil, almonds, cashews, Brazil nuts, pine nuts, walnuts. Again, I'll post these. Chickpeas, lima beans, kidney beans, mung beans, pinto beans, black-eyed peas, and lentils, blueberries, strawberries, and cranberries, cabbage, spinach, onion, zucchini, broccoli. And then progesterone loves Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, broccoli, mangoes, papaya, grapefruit, all of these tropical fruits progesterone really likes, lemons, oranges, and then sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, chia seeds, and flax seeds. I know I had a client tell me that she elevated her amount of chia seeds and started spotting again, which is really cool. Black beans, kidney beans, and chickpeas, butternut squash, acorn squash, honey nut squash, and spaghetti squash, yum. Sweet potatoes, yam, and red potatoes. So those are all those progesterone building or forming foods. So, and beets and turnips are also great for progesterone. All right, that is a lot of info. That's all I have for you today. Know that you can fast according to your cycle, or even if you're menopausal or postmenopausal, and you'll help to balance out those hormones. Okay, today's homework assignment as we finish up. Today's homework assignment is to continue fasting as you have been since yesterday. Continue to fast for about 13 to 14 hours, which would be, like I said yesterday, 7 p.m. to 9 or 11. Let's see, 9, 7 to 8 or 9 a.m. If you want to go for 16 hours, then you would fast from 7 p.m. to 11 a.m. So if you want to go for that and you want to go a little bit deeper in there into that fasting timeline, reaping more of the benefits at that point, you'll go into fat burning more readily, a little deeper, starting to get into autophagy. And now I want you to add in the dietary part. So with that meal plan that you have, if you're not using it, if you are, make sure to add in those healthy fats, making sure to add in a healthy fat at each meal. So you can add in a piece of avocado, olive oil, avocado or coconut oil, maybe some nuts, some nut butter, just some kind of healthy fat at each meal. Sometimes I'll just put some extra butter on my veggies. That helps too. So same thing. Let me know once you've completed it by posting it to the comment section of this video, and let me know that you did it and what your plan is or what your plan is, or that you did it, you can let me know by tomorrow since it'll take till the next day to complete it. And then I will put you in our raffle for completing the homework assignment. And I think that's it. So tomorrow, day 3, I'm kind of going back and forth if I'm going to talk about exercise or detoxing and the benefits of doing that for weight loss as we age and for balancing hormones. So anyway, so stay tuned, and I will see you all tomorrow for our next session on day 3. Talk to you soon.